back to Luka and Kyrie. There's been a little bit more chatter here. Stan Van Gundy said that they might be the best backcourt tandem, most talented. I'm not sure the exact words, but if you could get that, the wording, if it's most talented or best scorers, and then we could have a discussion on that. Here's Kyrie asked about the greatest backcourt ever.
You just take in, the accolades when people talk about you and Luka as possibly the greatest backcourt in NBA history. Thank you.
Who said that?
It's a lot of talk about that. It's a lot of talk that you and Luka possibly the greatest backcourt in NBA history.
I mean, it doesn't mean anything if we don't win a ring together, and I say that very responsibly too. Not saying that we aren't great now, but there are other backcourts that are more deserving right now for that recognition. And I think once we put a good run together and we could look back on and reflect on it, then that'll be our time.
Okay. I mean, that's a responsible, response there, being grown up with that. Because there have been a lot of backcourts in NBA history, but I don't know, are we calling them the most talented, the best scoring duo? Do we have the exact wording? I think Stan Van Gundy may have started this on the broadcast.
Here's one that I found from Stan Van Gundy. He was talking about Minnesota's defense trying to stop them. He said, quote, trying to slow down arguably the best offensive backcourt in the history of the NBA in Luka and Kyrie. Okay. Reggie Miller goes, whoa. So best offensive backcourt.
Okay. Yes, Eaton.
I'm seeing another quote from him on Sports Illustrated that says, it's the most talented backcourt in the history of the NBA.
See, that one's tricky. That's the old Aaron Rodgers. He's the most talented quarterback in NFL history. Yeah, okay. Kyrie's one of the most talented players in NBA history. True. But best scoring backcourt? Best offensive backcourt? All right. The way they can score is what's going to separate them because the game has changed. Luka can beat you from three, and then he can post up. He can hit little floaters. Kyrie can beat you off the dribble. He can also hit a big, shot from three-point range. They can get to the hoop, and they can shoot the three. Players didn't have that. Before we had the three-point shot, guys were hitting mid-range jumpers or, trying to get to the hoop, getting fouled. It's different to try to be able to do that. Now, Jordan and Pippen, are they a backcourt?
No.
Because Mike was the shooting guard. Scotty was the three. Is that what we're going to say? So they weren't a backcourt, so we can't include them. Earl Monroe and Walt Frazier, they come to mind. They were wonderful. Earl was more of a scorer than Walt was, but they were a great backcourt when they played for the Knicks. Yes, Mark.
What about Steph and Clay?
Steph and Clay, if you're talking offensively, now the different ways that Luka and Kyrie can score and Curry and Clay is different. I would still say Dallas is more talented in their abilities to be able to score differently. Clay is an unbelievable jump shooter. Unbelievable. Great. One of the 5 greatest shooters of all time, probably. But he needs help. Steph can get his shot. Kyrie can get a shot, so can Luka. So I think it kind of comes down to, do you need help getting your shot, or can you get your shot? That's the talent part of this. And I'll talk to Reggie about this, because I'm sure their backcourts were leaving out. And yes, I know people I've already hearing from Laker fans, what about Gail Goodrich and Jerry West? Yeah, it was different. Jerry could get his shot, so could Gail. And Gail, I think, averaged like 21, and Jerry probably 27 or 28. Really good scores. But it's just different. Today's game, you have to be able to shoot a three and beat somebody off the dribble. Get to the hoop. Yes, Seton.
And I like that, too, that Kyrie has been around long enough to know how loaded now that question is. About you guys are the best. Like, oh, no. I need to diffuse this immediately.
Yes.
Immediately.
Yeah.
I can't let this run.
Yes. Because if they win, now all of a sudden, series starts in Boston, and then all of a sudden, hey, do you guys think you're the most talented backcourt in NBA history?
Oh, what happened, Kyrie? I thought you guys were the best backcourt of all time. Well, I guess not.
Yeah. They probably have a list of the best scoring backcourts, Paulie?
I couldn't find scoring backcourts, but I found a bunch of lists of backcourts all time. Offensive is a key word here because Steph Curry, Klay Thompson are way up there. Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars are way up there on a lot of lists, but they're all-purpose players. Isaiah, a passer. Jumar is a lockdown defender. A lot of people say they're the best, most complete backcourt because they did everything. There's the other lists like Bob Cousy and Sam Jones, Magic Johnson, Byron Scott, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, had a great run.
Yeah,
those are all in that ilk. Michael Jordan, whoever the Bulls' other guard was.
Yeah, John Paxson or
Ron Harper.
no, he had like Craig Hodges or something. No, so they Steve Kerr was on there. Ron Harper.
So Michael and anyone basically.
No, I think you got to be fair to. See, certain guys were asked to do certain things. Joe Dumars, his first job was to guard Jordan, and then he was a 19 or 20-point scorer. Isaiah was a 19-point scorer as well. Magic could have averaged 30. Byron Scott, though, he got those kind of pull-up jumpers. Magic would find him and he'd hit jumpers, not necessarily beating you off the dribble, but he was a great spot-up shooter. Yeah, I have no problem with that. I mean, Luka is one of the great scorers of all time. His ability to do what he does every single night, and then you throw in Kyrie, yeah, that's pretty talented. You'd be hard-pressed to go, these guys are better at getting their shots. Yes, Mark.
Kyrie's been a part of some crazy duos. Kyrie LeBron, Kyrie KD, which didn't work.
Okay, is Kyrie LeBron, does that trump everybody else? I would think so.
Ooh.
I mean, LeBron's a guard.
I don't think he was listed as a guard.
Well,
Semantics, I know.
Okay.
But ball handling, sure.
I would probably have Kyrie and LeBron in there.
As I've mentioned before, LeBron has had different positions by year. The official NBA registry, in his first year as a shooting guard, he was a small forward for 8 years, then a power forward for 2 years, small forward for 2 years, power forward again, point guard with the Lakers his first 2 years. In 21-22, LeBron was listed as a center for the Lakers. This is the official designation of the NBA.
Yeah.
And he's currently a power forward again.
All right.
He's played every position.
Yeah.
I think that's on purpose.
Well, it might be easier to make the All-NBA team back then when it was you had to have two forwards, you had to have your center and your two guards. Now it's positionless, the way it should be.